IGRP, that means Interior Gateway Routing Protocol. Now this interior gateway routing protocol is a distance vector interior routing protocol. Distance vector same as RIP, which is a RIP. It is same as that. It is a distance vector protocol, and also it is an interior gateway protocol. But this IGRP is developed by Cisco, and it is used by routers to exchange routing data within an autonomous system. Autonomous system is like your IGRP ID, IGP ID. IGP means Interior Gateway Protocol, Interior Gateway Routing Protocol. That means what? You can use this protocol within a routing domain. Now, when you're having your routing domain where you can have multiple networks, within that you configure those interior gateway protocols. So those routing domain have a unique ID, and that ID is called autonomous system number. So this IGRP uses this autonomous system number for exchanging the routing protocols, routing data within the within the autonomous, within the domain, routing domain. But this IGRP is what? Is a proprietary protocol. IGRP was created in order to overcome the limitations of RIP. So there was a limitation in RIP. There was a lots of problems in RIP, that is having a loops, routing loops, and that is why it has a maximum hop count of only 15 and a single routing metric. Single routing metric, that means only hop count. So for finding a path, remember, for finding a path to the destination, any routing protocol do what? They check two things. First, AD value. The first priority is AD value. So the minimum AD value is more reliable. So they will take the path which path's AD value will be less than the other path. So if you are having two paths to reach the destination network, so router will choose the path which is less AD value. But if the AD values are same on all the routers, then routing protocols do what? They check the metrics. Now metrics for the RIP protocol is what? Hop count. Hop count, that means how many routers comes in between source and destination. So when it reaches the first router, that means it is the first hop. Then it reaches the second router, that means it is the second hop. So hop count, it counts the hop. Like if it is having two paths, one path has 3 routers, 3 hops, and other part is having 2 routers, 2 hops. So it will choose what? Less hops, like the path which is having 2 routers, 2 hops. So the hop count is the metric for the RIP protocol. And also because of the loops, RIP has a limitation of only 15 hops. That means it can go up to 15 hop counts. That means when you want to send a data to any destination network, and if the destination network is more than 15 hops away, that means in between we have more than 15 routers in a straight line, then what? The data will not reach there. It cannot do, because it is what? Only supports 15 hops. So these are the limitations. It has only one matrix, which is hop count, and only it uses 15 hops. So Cisco created this IGRP protocol to overcome with these limitations. But they created with proprietary. Proprietary, that means you can only use this IGRP on Cisco routers and Cisco devices. You cannot use it on any other company's devices. We have different companies also, like Huawei. Juniper is the other big company for networking devices. Juniper, Huawei, Motorola. We have many more other companies. So on those companies, those devices, you are not able to use this IGRP. It is what? It is a proprietary protocol by Cisco, developed by Cisco, and only supported on Cisco devices. Now this 15 hops is a limitation for the large network. That is why RIP is not supported in large network, and also it is having only one matrix. So we have now IGRP they created, and it supports multiple matrix for each route. Now IGRP can support multiple matrix as compared to RIP, including what it can go for bandwidth, delay, load and reliability. To compare two routes, these matrices are combined together into a single matrix and using a formula which can be adjusted through the use of preset constant. So actually it do what? It uses these matrices to calculate the destination path. So if you want to reach to the destination, if IGRP is working, so it can compare these different metrics. It can compare the bandwidth. It can compare the bandwidth of the link. So if it is having two links, so it can compare the bandwidth of the link, like which link is giving more bandwidth. So it will use the path, it will use the link which is giving more bandwidth. Then it can compare the delay. Delay means how much delay it is taking to get to the destination. So which link is getting less delay, it will compare this one also. Then also it can compare the load. That means which link can take more load. More load, that means how much load it can put on that particular link. So if it is having a multiple links to reach the destination network, then it will choose those links that is having that can have a more load. Then also it checks the reliability of the link. Now reliability means what? If suppose sometime what we have some networks which is not continue connected, they sometime loose connected or having a loose connection, so they come and go, they flicker. Sometimes those networks flickers, come and go and come and go. So those kind of networks are not reliable. So what it will do, it can check this reliability also, and it will not choose that path which is not reliable. And to compare two routes, these matrices are combined together into a single matrix. Now it will do what? It will use this matrix to generate a unique value by using a mathematical formula. That means how much bandwidth you have, based on that it will generate a number for it. For delay it generate unique number, for load is generate unique number, for reliability it gives a unique point or number to a link. Then it will use some formula to compare those values and then come up with a unique value with some preset constant, and then it will compare those values with other links. So which link give us the less values, it will choose that one. Now by default the IGRP composite matrix is a sum of the segment delays and the lowest segment bandwidth. By default it has these four matrix: bandwidth, delay, load and reliability. But by default all these four are not calculated, because if it do calculate all these things, it can become slow and it can put lots of load on router. So that is why by default everything is not calculated. By default these bandwidths are disabled. Only router IGRP do what? It calculate only the delay and bandwidth. This load and reliability by default is disabled and it will not calculate that values. But in case if we want, then we can enable those values also to calculate. Now the maximum configurable hop count of IGRP routed packet is 55. Default is 100. In other hand, RIP is having only 15 hop counts because it has a big problem of loops. So this IGRP has a solution for those loops. So they have increased the hop counts. By default it is configured the 100 hop counts. That means it can go through 100 routers in between source and destination, but we can increase it to 255. The maximum limit for the hop count is 255. It is very big, that means it can support a large network where you can have a 1500 or 255 routers connected in a single line. And routing updates are broadcast every 90 seconds by default. In other hand, RIP broadcasts the routing information only on 30 seconds. It broadcasts it on 90 seconds by default, but IGRP uses the protocol number 9 for communication, and IGRP is considered a class full routing protocol. So it is also using the periodic update just like RIP, and also it do what? It uses the class full routing protocol. So still it is not supporting classless routing. And that is why now we have the advanced enhanced version of this IGRP, that is called EIGRP. And because of that, now Cisco has discontinued this IGRP. So IGRP is no longer used, because we have now enhanced version of this IGRP, that is called EIGRP. And even in a certification of this Cisco CCNA, it will not ask any question related to this IGRP, because now it is not used, nobody is using it, because we have the enhanced version. So why we use this? Now whether you are using IGRP or EIGRP, this autonomous system will be same. This autonomous system is a network or a collection of networks that are all managed and supervised by a single entity or organization. An autonomous system is also sometimes referred to as a routing domain. That means the company's own private network, only privately owned network, where you have multiple networks. You could have hundreds of routers, multiple different networks, and they are owned and managed by a single organization. So it is called what? Their own domain, because these all owned by the single owner. So we can say also it is like a routing domain. Now this autonomous system is assigned a globally unique number, sometimes called an autonomous system number. So for identifying their routing domain, like for example we have Microsoft company, so whatever their privately owned network is, like whether it is locally in a single premises of the office, or we can say we can combine multiple premises of the Microsoft from different countries and different regions. So they can be all into a single routing domain, we can say, because they all are supervised or owned by the single organization. So to identifying their single network, single routing domain, in a networking, globally unique number is assigned by the internet service provider. Actually it is given by the internet service provider, and it's a unique number, which is also called what? Autonomous system number. And this is what? This is the identity. This is a unique, this number will be an identity for that routing domain. Other companies will use another autonomous number, other companies will use another autonomous number, and this autonomous system number is a unique number that's available globally to identify an autonomous system, and which enables that system to exchange interior routing information with other neighboring autonomous systems. And autonomous system numbers ranges from 1 to 64,511, and it is assigned by the internet service provider. So they assign this autonomous number. When you get the WAN link, you will get your own autonomous system number also, so that internally you can use that number to configure your routing between interior gateway protocols. But in a RIP we don't mention it, but IGRP, when we configure IGRP, we mention that autonomous system number. So one company with their own routing domain, they get their unique routing autonomous system number, and other company will get their own unique autonomous system number. So when they want to do communication between each other, then they use this autonomous system number to identify their network. Like if we have in Microsoft network, we have one network in a Microsoft organization, and a same network it is configured, suppose we have configured IGRP in a router of Microsoft network, and also we are having another company, let's say Cisco, and on their router we have configured IGRP again. So how we can identify this IGRP is different than the Cisco's network IGRP, Microsoft IGRP router and Cisco's IGRP network, how they are different? So they will be different by the autonomous system number. So within their own internal network, internal routing domain, they will use the same autonomous system number in all their routers. So whenever you connect the network of your company's to another company, then it can be verified by the autonomous system number. And you have to use the exterior gateway protocol to do the communication, and that exterior gateway protocol is BGP. Otherwise you are not able to do the communication between two different autonomous system number routers or two different autonomous system number routing protocols. Then the timers, just like the RIP, the IGRP, this IGRP is also sending the update of routing table. So it has update timers, and it specifies the interval between what routing update messages. The default is what, 90 seconds. In a RIP it is 30 seconds, in IGRP it is 90 seconds. So after every 90 seconds, every router will send the routing update to its neighboring router. Then invalid timer, it specifies how long a router should wait before declaring a route invalid, and if it doesn't receive a specific update about it. So the default is 3 times the update period, that is 270. So it is basically 3 times. So 90 is the one time, so 3 times is 270. So that any router misses one update can get the other update in the second time, or if it is missed the second time, then it can get this third time. But if it is not getting it in third time, then the route will be invalid. That is what, after 3 updates, that is what, 270 seconds. But it will still not remove the network from the routing table. It will hold it till the hold down timers. So hold down timer is the 3 times the update timer period plus 10 seconds, that is 280 seconds. That means 3 times is the update was 90 to 270 is the 3 time, and it will add 10 more second for hold down timer. So after the network is invalid, still it will not remove the network. It will not say that the network is down. It will still wait for what, 280 seconds, and after that it will say the network is possibly down, and it will not forward any data to that network. But still the network will not remove from the routing table till the flush timer. Now this indicates how much time should pass before a route should be flushed from the routing table. Now in this time, flush timer, after flush timer, it will remove the route from the routing table. The default is 7 times the routing update period, and if the update timer is 90 seconds by default, then 7 is what, multiply 90 to 7 is what, 630 seconds. So after 630 seconds, it will completely remove the remove the route from the routing table. What are the features of IGRP? So Cisco proprietary routing protocol. This is what, Cisco proprietary routing protocol, dynamic and distance vector routing protocol. Class full routing protocol, and also metric is what? Bandwidth and delay used in medium size network, more stable than RIP. These are the some features of IGRP routing protocol. Now how we can configure this? So configuration is very easy. To configure the routing of IGRP is similar to RIP, but only difference is the autonomous system number. That means it is only the difference of autonomous system number. The rest of the commands are same. IGRP uses a common autonomous number to all routers in a network, common for their own routing domain. That means if it is a routing domain of Microsoft, so all the routers within that routing domain will use the same autonomous number. If mistakenly you changes the autonomous number, then these two routers will not do communication. One router of different autonomous number and one router of different autonomous number will never do the communication to each other. They will consider that these other networks are in different company network, different routing domain network. To communicate between these two different routing domains, two different autonomous system number, you need BGP. You need BGP routing protocol to configure it. It is called Border Gateway Routing Protocol. So the syntax for configuring the IGRP is simple. Just like RIP, we'll go to the config mode, and then we will give the command router, and after the router we will mention the routing protocol like RIP. But in RIP, you don't need to give anything else, but here if you press enter, here you will get the error called command incomplete, because you have to mention the autonomous system number here. So first you give a command router to configure the routing protocol, then the protocol name, which is IGRP, then after that you will mention the system number. Now this autonomous system number depends what you get from ISP. So whatever the number you will get from ISP, you will assign that number here, and the number can be between 1 to 65,511. In between that number, it could be any number. Now after that, when you press enter here, you will get into again router mode, where you can configure your routing protocol. So right now we are entering into the RIP routing protocol. Now we can configure the routing protocol here. So like RIP, what we do in RIP, we mention the connected networks, only the connected networks. So here also we will mention only the connected networks. We will give command network, and then we will mention whatever the network is connected. One network per line. In one line you can mention only one network. So whatever network you have, how many networks you have, you will just configure that networks one by one, and done. Your configuration is done. For example, I am giving here router IGRP, and I am using autonomous number 10. For a testing purpose, I can use any number. I am using 10. But remember, if you are using 10 here in this router A, then you have to use 10 on all your router within the network. Then you will mention this entering into the routing mode, and then you will mention what? The connected network. So whatever your connected networks are, you will mention those networks one by one, and then your routing is done. So it is easy like RIP to configure it, and also it is advanced than RIP. It has more features than RIP. It has more metrics. That means it supports more metrics. It supports bandwidth, delay, load, and reliability, and also it can support more hop counts. and like RIP version 2, it also do the trigger update. With the periodic update also it sends the trigger update also. Now to verifying IGRP which we have configured, so you can verify the IGRP configuration by using the show IP route command like this to show the routing table. So when you run the show IP route command, you will see all the networks in the routing table. The networks which is connected, these two networks are connected, and those networks which is read and collected by the IGRP protocol will show up here like this. Now for RIP the code was R, for IGRP the code is I. So when you see I within any network, any route here in the routing table, that means it is read by IGRP. It is generated by IGRP protocol. Then the same thing, you will see the network, then you will see the AD value. AD value for the IGRP is 100, and then you will see the matrix here. Now the matrix is what? It is actually the sum of bandwidth and delay. So it uses a unique number for bandwidth and delay, and with the sum with a mathematical formula, it apply the mathematical formula on it and generate this unique number, and this number decides that which path is better for this network. So it is saying this is the metric for this route, and I can reach to this network via this first hop count, or I can reach within I can exit from this interface to go to this network. And also the route is read before 26 seconds, so it will the timer will go on to 90 seconds, and after 90 seconds it will send the updates, and again the timer will start from 0. So you can see from the above routing table here, the I in the output next to the routing identifies what? Identifies the route as being learned by the IGRP, and the 100 by this number represent what? This means what? Metric, which is bandwidth by delay, and 100 means the administrative value. So very simple. This is another protocol which is a simple protocol like RIP, but it is also configured like RIP. Only the difference is autonomous system number, but it is the advanced protocol than RIP. It is created by Cisco to overcome the limitations of RIP. So we have some limitations under RIP. To overcome those limitations, Cisco has designed this IGRP protocol. So we have seen how we can configure it and how we can verify it.